Patriots Press Pass Film Room. I'm Evan Lazar. Today we're going to break down third round pick Ronnie Perkins, and I don't think it's any mistake that Bill Belichick mentioned that Ronnie Perkins was a very physical player, not once but twice in his post-draft press conference. And I think it's not necessarily throwing shade at some of the other players on the roster, but it's definitely pointing to the fact that the Patriots have gone after some explosive edge rushers over the last couple of drafts, and Perkins harkens back a little bit more to their prototypical mold. At 252 pounds, he is somebody that plays a little bit more physical than a Chase Winovich or a Josh Uche. He might not have the explosiveness that those two guys have on the edge, but he certainly has the sturdiness and the ability to set the edge against the run, which I think has been a very big focal point for the Patriots this offseason. After they sort of got away from having great edge setters in 2020, that was a big concern for them. They actually led the league in yards per carry allowed, in a bad way, I should say. So they had the most yards per carry allowed in the NFL last year on rushes off the edge or off the tackle. So setting the edge was a big misstep in this defense last year, a big hole in this defense. And Ronnie Perkins brings you back to that Kyle Van Noy, Matt Judon, Rob Ninkovich, that type of mold, right? And that's where the Patriots have gone this offseason, certainly, is with guys that are a little bit more physical out there versus guys that are a little bit more finesse and have that explosiveness off the football. So let's get into some of the Ronnie Perkins tape now. We're going to start, as we always do, with the pass rush stuff. And I just want to point out a couple of things that you see with him. Again, he's not as explosive as a Winovich. He's not as explosive as an Uche in terms of coming off the football and turning the corner, but he does have a great motor, and he does use his skill set to his advantage of having good upper body power and hand usage to be able to disengage and turn the edge and press the quarterback. So here's a good instance, a good example, I should say, of that upper body strength and hand usage. And Perkins in OU's defense, he's right here over the left tackle. Perkins in the OU defense played a lot with his hand in the dirt. He wasn't used a ton as a stand-up outside linebacker in their system. We will show you a couple of examples where he was standing up and he handled it pretty well. So I think it's something that he can do and something that he'll adjust to. But this is a player that is probably going to come in as sort of a defensive end outside linebacker hybrid, and it's going to be up to the Patriots coaching staff to kind of figure out where exactly they are going to use him. So on this particular play, he is going to use a push-pull or a snatch move. Push-pull, it's pretty simple. We're going to fire out of our stance, get explosive, get into the body of the tackle, punch, and then pull him towards you to disengage. So you're going to see some of that explosiveness off the ball that he does have, the motor, the upper body power, and then some pretty good ability to turn the corner here. So again, he's right over here going up against the left tackle. As we roll the play, you're going to see that first engagement right here. He's just going to get low, use that upward momentum in his leverage, and push out. There it is. There's the lockout right there. Once he gets that separation, now he has that ability to pretty much do whatever he wants to the tackle, and in this case he's going to pull him forwards and then shed him and then go around him for the sack. So as we roll the play a little bit more, you're going to see the hand usage and the hand strength. This is great grip strength here by Perkins to just pull the tackle forward, go around him, and then you see a little bit of bend there to turn the corner, and he actually gets a strip sack. And that's just right there, I think, is what Ronnie Perkins is in a nutshell as a pass rusher, right? Somebody that uses speed to power, certainly someone that uses upper body strength and hand strength in order to disengage and rush the quarterback and pressure the QB. Here's another instance now where he's going to threaten the edge of the tackle, and he's going to use a inside long arm or inside jab in order to separate off the tackle, keep himself clean, gets kind of sideways against the tackle and wins that half-man relationship so that it's difficult for the tackle to get hands on him. So as we roll this one, again, he's rushing here over the left tackle, and you'll notice, again, he likes this four-point stance or this frog stance where he can get really low and explode out of it. I saw him use this stance quite a bit at OU. It's not something that the Patriots typically prefer their edge rushers or their defensive ends to use, but it's something that's been really effective for him, and I bet that they won't take him away from it completely because they tend to kind of stick to things that the player is comfortable with doing. So a big 3-point stance guy with one hand in the dirt, 4-point stance with 2 hands in the dirt, and then a little bit of experience playing as a stand-up edge rusher. So as we roll this one, again, what you're going to see is he's going to threaten the edge, right? He's going to get off the ball and he's going to try to turn the corner, and he's just going to fire that inside hand, this his left arm right here. He's going to fire it into the tackle and create that separation to get around the corner. So as we roll the play, you're going to see comes off the football, kind of threatens inside just a little bit, and there's the long arm, there's the jab, right? And by getting this jab out there, you can see the separation that he causes here, and the tackle is kind of trying to punch his side, right? He's trying to punch the side of him. Well, if you don't let the tackle square you up, it's a lot easier to get around the corner, right? If the tackle sees your chest and you get square to him and you can fire your hands into the chest, and the tackle's going to be able to win that rep. But when you're able to get sideways here like this and limit the surface area that the tackle has to strike, it makes it a lot more difficult to block you. So he gets that hand out, and watch the tackle just kind of jolt backwards. You see that jolt right there that Ronnie Perkins causes just by his upper body power? You can see it again here. Watch the tackle kind of fly backwards, and then he just sort of comes around to the quarterback. So again, really good hand power, really good ability to push the pocket and just kind of throw his hands into tackles and cause them to get off balance by just sheer power in his upper body. Here's another example. We're just going to bull rush the quarterback, right? We're just going to speed to power. We're going to get right into the tackle, and we're going to push him right back into the QB. Nothing fancy about this. This is straight up power, right? There's no finesse. There's no spin move. There's no big first step. There's no turn the corner. There's no bend. This is just straight up power rushing. And again, he's in that 4-point stance. He comes off the ball and just walks it right back into the quarterback. And these are the instances that you see a lot with Perkins, is that he has this ability to just kind of fly off the football and use his power to walk people back into quarterbacks and press the edge. Again, nothing fancy. And a lot of the time with the Patriots, also with some of these guys like a Winovich, they turn the corner, they get themselves caught past the quarterback, and bad things happen, right? They lose contain out on the edge. Perkins is somebody that I think they look at as a little bit more of that collapse the pocket type of pass rusher that's going to be a little bit more disciplined in his rush lane. So here comes one stand-up rep that was I think bodes well for his success with the Patriots. The one thing that the Patriots really like to ask their edge rushers to do in their pass rushing schemes is be the wrap player on stunts. So they're going to use an interior player here, in this case this DT. He's going to penetrate and occupy the guard and the tackle on the left side, and Ronnie Perkins is just going to wrap around it and get pressure on the quarterback. That's a big part of it. We see it all the time with all the pass rushers that have been through New England that are stand-up edge guys, wrapping around interior penetration and using that pick to get a free run at the QB. And here with Perkins, you're going to see some pretty good timing, pretty good get off and explosiveness to get through this unblocked hole and just kind of affect the play. So as we roll it, you're going to see, actually, they're going to pull the guard. I forgot about that one. So here we go. Let's watch this again. So they're going to pull the guard, and when they pull the guard, the center is going to step to right here, and then OU is just going to have a really perfect sort of schemed rush going on here against this blocking scheme, and it's going to Perkins is going to come through on block. So as he pulls the guard, then Perkins is going to come off this center penetration here. So there's the penetration from these two guys here, and Perkins has this free lane right there, and you're just going to see him come through and get some pressure on the quarterback. So let's watch it full speed, and of course, first force a bad throw. Let's watch it full speed. So here comes the penetration inside. Those are the slanting, those are the penetrators, right? They're going to occupy the interior lineman. Here's Perkins out on the edge. He's just going to come around and hit the quarterback and affect the QB into a bad throw. And you see enough explosiveness there, certainly enough ability to close and burst on the quarterback. Now I want to get into the run tape, because this is really, to me, what this pick was all about. Physical, right? A guy that can set the edge, a guy that can hold up blockers, a guy that can take on blockers, and also have some pretty good block anticipation as well that we'll get into here in a second. But the main key, I think, for the Patriots this entire offseason on defense okay, we want to still be explosive. We still want to play fast. We don't want to completely get away from that because that's where the game is going. But we also need to get stouter on the edge because last year we know they just got absolutely gashed on the edge of the defense. So we're going to still be explosive, we're going to still be quick, but we're also going to want to be more physical and more stout at the point of attack. So here's Perkins right here, and Baylor is going to run a zone read type of concept with the quarterback and the mesh point, and watch him just set the edge here. Okay, it's just not, we're not flying off the football, we're not trying to shoot gaps, we're not trying to make big splash plays, we're just going to set the edge, hold up, post up on the edge, and then make the quarterback or the ball carrier come to us. So as we roll the play here a little bit, that first step is key. See that first step, that bucket step, that's what resets the line of scrimmage. And then you see this inside hand again and that arm extension. He gets his arms out. Now we're setting the edge, right? We're going to post up here on the edge. We're going to read the mesh point, and we're going to decide when the ball carrier commits to where he's going to go, we're going to then make the play. So as we roll it a little bit more, you're going to see Perkins just setting the edge here, right? Just using his hand strength, using his upper body power to create that separation. We're going to wait for the quarterback to come to us. He sets that edge, he forces the runner back inside, and we make the play. So those are the types of plays that you consistently see. Here's another one. Now, this could have been a better chip block by the tight end, no doubt about it. But here's Perkins right here again in that frog stance, in that 4-point stance. And all he is going to do is fire his hands into the tackle, control that engagement in 2-gap. And when he reads the running backs commits to the gap that he's going to go into, Perkins is just going to match him, right? He's just going to mirror him. So as we roll this play, we're going to see him fire those hands inside. You see this separation right here? He's going to see that jolt, just kind of get that tackle back on his skates, right? We're just going to throw hands, and we're going to get those tackles back on their heels, and we're going to control engagements. And again, he kind of absorbs a weak chip block, no doubt about it. But now he's in great position, right? Because he's got this inside gap and he's got the outside, and he's in great position to just kind of read and react to what the running back is going to do. The running back goes outside to try to follow his blocks. Perkins sheds and makes a really nice athletic play there in space to make the tackle. So these are the things that we consistently see with him in terms of upper body power, upper body strength, that I think bode really well for the type of player that he is going to be in the Patriots defense. But now we're going to get into some block anticipation. And what block anticipation means is simply he's going to understand what the offense is going to try to do from a run game perspective in terms of the blocking schemes, and he's just going to jump out in front of the blockers. So he's going to see, okay, this guy's going to step towards me, or we're going to angle block towards me, and I'm just going to beat him to the spot, and I'm just going to beat him inside. And Perkins blew up quite a few plays, as we'll see here in the next two examples, just anticipating blocks, firing into the backfield off of them, and making plays behind the line of scrimmage. So as we roll this one, this is sort of a jet sweep fake here, and we're going to fake it, and then the quarterback's going to keep it on this power. And you're going to see Perkins right there knows that the tight end is going to step to him and try to make this block as he sees the tackle stepping inside, and everybody's going to step down, right? The tight end's going to block down, the tackle's going to block down, so on and so forth, and we're going to pull this backside guard, and that's how we're going to lead through the hole if you're the offense. But what does Perkins do when he sees everybody stepping down? He's just going to slant inside and jump inside and beat everybody to it and make the stop. So those are the types of block anticipation that you see. And here's another example. So this time, again, they're going to block power, and they're going to pull the guard, and Perkins is just going to beat the puller to the spot. So as we roll the play, Perkins is over here, the backside guard's going to pull, he's going to see the puller, and he's just going to beat him there. He's going to see this player 61, he's going to block down. it's going to create a hole right here that the offense is trying to get through with the puller coming in, and Perkins is right here. And as soon as 61 doesn't block him, he just shoots the backfield and he beats the puller to the spot. So as 61 blocks down there, the tight ends doesn't give the best effort here either, quite frankly, but he tries to just kind of get him a little bit to slow him down, and he sees this puller coming here. This is a power scheme. We're just going to pull, and we're gonna pull here to the edge, and Perkins sees the puller coming. He sees the down block by the tackle, and he's just going to jump it. He's going to get right back in the backfield and make a huge play. So let's watch this one at full speed again, because I just want you to see how he anticipates these blocks and how he's able to just jump inside of it. So again, 61 is the guy that he is reading. If 61 comes out and blocks him and he steps out, he's just going to set the edge. 61 down blocks, he anticipates the puller coming, and he just is going to jump it. That's great run defense right there. And that's what you consistently see from Ronnie Perkins, is a guy that can really play great run defense for the Patriots out on the edge. And again, all last season, the Patriots really got gashed on the ground. You know, a team that really suffered from the losses of guys like Dante Hightower, for example, and Kyle Van Noy going to Miami. And a lot of their stout run defenders were obviously either opted out because of COVID or hurt or whatever, and they weren't able to be as good against the run as they wanted to be. So in free agency, first of all, they get Hightower back from the opt-out. That was key. In free agency, they sign Matt Judon, they bring back Kyle Van Noy, they get these guys they know that can set the edge, and in the draft, they take Ronnie Perkins in the third round, and you see sort of, like I said at the beginning of the video, kind of a harken back to what the Patriots are good at, back to their roots. And the reason why setting the edge of the defense is so important for New England is because their entire run fit, their entire scheme in terms of running the running game is predicated on forcing ball carriers back inside. They got big linebackers, they got big DTs. They want to force ball carriers inside and funnel them back to those players. When guys are getting out on the edge and they're forcing the second level to go sideline to sideline, the Patriots have a lot of trouble. So what their whole defense is predicated on setting the edge. And this offseason, they've gone out and tried to get a lot stouter on the edge and focused heavily on getting those edge setters in the building. Matt Judon, Van Noy, now Ronnie Perkins in the draft. We'll see what it means for some of the draft picks recently before the 2021 class, Winovich, Uche, Jennings. I think those guys still have roles on this team. Certainly Winovich and Uche as pass rushers, but I think that they're going to go early down with a little bit thicker bodies, and it's going to be really fascinating to see how these reps are split up, and I'm looking forward to watching this position battle in camp as we get into how everybody is going to fit in and how Ronnie Perkins at 96 with a top 100 pick is going to fit in at a pretty crowded position group. But again, physical. That's the type of player the Patriots are getting with Ronnie Perkins. I think that's what they want to get a little bit more on the edge.